A tricky thing that happens when it comes to approaching another person or relating with them is that to the degree we want it to go well, that's the degree to which we kind of feel like we're getting in our own way. So a few things we can do to work with that. One is to like yourself. Now, this is a cliche if there ever was one. What self-help book or video or audio hasn't talked about liking yourself? But it keeps coming up for a reason. Now, what it doesn't mean is adopting a hardcore form of narcissism where you put yourself up on a pedestal above other people. Quite the opposite. It's normally the insecurity which is causing the problems, and that's ironically making us think about ourselves more than we should be. The ironic thing about liking yourself and being secure is that you can forget about yourself in a way. It's a bit like walking. You're not thinking about your feet the whole time. You want to be confident in your feet so you can stop thinking about your feet and actually focus on where you're going. And it's something similar when communicating or relating with another person, particularly if you want them to like you. It's being able to be who you are, to treat yourself with a little bit of kindness, to understand fundamentally, you don't need to explain it to yourself, but just accept that you are lovable and likable, and then move on to the next bit, which is focusing and connecting with the person who's actually in front of you. Now, another variant of this is being removed from the moment and the connection with the person, not by thinking about ourselves, but by thinking about what we're trying to succeed at. There's an attachment. We're thinking, if it's a potential partner, we're thinking of marriage, and that's getting in the way of just saying hello. We're thinking of rejection, what they might say to us. If it's a friendship, we're thinking they might judge us, or they might be different than us, we might be excluded. And all of these things are ways in which we're trying to win. There's nothing wrong with, of course, wanting good outcomes, but these are ways in which we're getting ahead of ourselves. It would be much nicer if we could bring it back to the here and the now and say hello. Maybe ask a question. Maybe share something and connect and let it be what it is, and then let it grow into whatever it can grow into, but without us needing to pull the plant up from the ground to try and make it grow, instead allowing nature to take its course. This requires a kind of vulnerability, and vulnerability is in fact very attractive. And as you give yourself that space, and you can practice it in small incremental steps, it doesn't need to be everything overnight, you get very good at being authentic, which is very appealing, and you start to connect a little bit more easily with the right kinds of people. And you feel good then because you're getting that feedback back, which makes it a little bit easier the next time, and connections come from that, meaningful relationships, and it's so worth doing.